All right, so up here on the screen, we're going to talk a little bit about the next item that's in here, constrain user interfaces. You may have seen these before, and if you haven't, then we're just going to enumerate these really quickly. So with menus, we can constrain menus to allow specific permissions with access control. Just like you've seen on Facebook or LinkedIn or general websites out there, there may be specific nodes within the infrastructure of a website that may actually need to be hidden from people. So in our particular case here, what we can do is I can hide the row, or what I can do right here is just hide the row. Not all of them. Come on now. What did I do? Yeah. So here, watch this right here. I'm just going to delete the row. So like this right here. So let's say that somebody logs into the website and, or maybe they don't log in. This is what you see whenever you just get the regular splash page from a HTML document. Here's the menu. You come over here, you click on login, and magically, once you log in, then you're part of the members page. And so the constrained user interface would allow us to see additional functionality within the website or within an application. In this particular case, this is for the menu. Anybody know what a view is?
It's like a specific SQL query that allows you to just view certain data within a database.
Okay. So let's say we have first name, last name, DOB, and I think we went over this the other day, but we'll go through it again. So SSN will be our primary key here. DOB, address, phone, and then how about salary? And you know what? We'll throw in here. We'll say roles. Okay, not to be confused with the roles we eat for dinner here, right? So for our particular purposes, that was a joke, guys. Sorry. So for our purposes here, this is the table in the database that we're going to be playing with here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and populate some data, and then we'll go through and we'll create a couple of different views over here on the side. So let's just say we have somebody with a particular SSN, and this SSN then is unique to that person. Well, now we can make a few different SSNs in here. We're going to have a bunch of different people that all have the same last name conveniently. For simplicity purposes, we'll get Susie Q, Mickey, Minnie, Donald. How about Hugh? All right, and then there we go. Boom, we got everybody we need in there. Okay, and then now we got the database populated here. So let's just say we'll put some DOB in there, and we'll just give them all the same DOB. Wherever is the address, and the phone can be 256. Okay. All right, so just go with me here. So what I'm going to do here is, as I'm building this database out, we'll give this guy 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, and then, whoops. We'll just give these guys as they go up. Morgan will get 130,000. How about that? And then admin, 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 and admin. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's do HR. Let's do IT. We'll do finance. I gotta spell finance right. And then just copy and paste these guys into the different roles. So based off of our roles here in the database, what we can do is we can actually constrain the user interface by creating these magical things that are called views. So over here, what I would do is I would have a database view. Usually it's, you use the Hungarian notation, or what's it called? Pascal notation, where in front of it you actually put the disclaimer on there of what you are doing in the database. So for this particular view, we'll have a view for HR. We'll have a view for IT. So VW is not to be confused with Volkswagen. And then we'll have a VW for finance. Okay. So let's just check these out here. So VW. Well, I have trouble spelling finance. Okay, so our view for HR is, let's just say that the HR can have access to all of these particular objects. Okay, so they have access to, oops, hold on, all of these in our database. And what we can do is we can just say, hey, you know what, HR, you're privileged. You can have access to that. IT, on the other hand, only needs access to maybe the first name, last name, and maybe roles. Probably not. Maybe they do, but we'll just say that they don't for our purposes here. And then finance, maybe just finance here has the first name, last name, and salary. Okay, so as we go through and look at these, you can see that the different views here, database views that we're talking about here, are controlled specifically to allow or deny access to specific information in the database. This one's kind of omnipotent with the exception for roles. This one just has some limited functionality, and then this one just has some salary in it. Okay, any questions? What is a shell? Okay. Yeah, so something that we can have administrative access to system. And then what about a capabilities table? Capabilities table is very similar to what we see right here with these views, where essentially you would have, it's very similar to the role-based access control that we were talking about before. So you'd have, user John here for capabilities table, and he would have capabilities of X, Y, and Z, and then you'd have all these people specifically on here would have different capabilities based off of whatever was requested in the organization. Some people may have access to X, other people may just have access to Y, and some people may just have access to Z. So keep that in mind. The capabilities table is very similar to a role-based access control, where essentially it's just it shows what permissions the person has.